Top 10 cursed objects that still exist throughout history. Certain objects have been blamed for misfortune, illness, even death. Some say it's coincidence. Others believe they're cursed. The strangest part, many of these items still exist and are on display today. These are 10 cursed objects that have terrified the world and still haunt it to this day. The Crying Boy painting. In the 1980s, a series of mysterious house fires erupted across the UK. Entire homes were reduced to ashes, but fire after fire, one item always survived, a painting. It showed a young boy crying with sad, hollow eyes. Not a single burn ever touched it. Firefighters were baffled. They started to whisper about a curse. Newspapers caught on, dubbing it the cursed painting. Some even held public burnings to destroy it, but the original, still missing, and every time it resurfaced, tragedy followed. Some owners reported hearing cries in the night, or footsteps in empty rooms. Others were plagued by terrible luck. Despite mass panic, many people kept copies of the painting, unaware of the danger. To this day, some versions still hang quietly in homes, their origins forgotten, but their gaze unchanged. The Dybbuk Box. This small wine cabinet was bought at an estate sale in Oregon in the early 2000s, but it carried more than just wood and hinges. It held a Dybbuk, an evil spirit from Jewish folklore, believed to be a restless, malicious force. Everyone who owned the box experienced horrifying events, night terrors, health problems, hair falling out, electronic devices failing, even visions of shadowy figures. One man nearly died of a stroke. Another said he saw hell. The box contained bizarre items sealed inside. Locks of hair, a dried rosebud, a candlestick, and strange engravings. The box was eventually sealed and buried, but in 2003, it was put up for auction on eBay. The new owner, a museum curator, keeps it locked away in a sealed container. He claims it still moves on its own. Even Post Malone, the musician, reportedly suffered a series of accidents after coming near it. Robert the Doll. In Key West, Florida, a doll sits inside a glass case. His name is Robert. He once belonged to a boy named Gene Otto in the early 1900s. Gene claimed Robert could speak. Neighbors reported seeing the doll move on its own. After Gene died, the doll was left behind, but the nightmares didn't end. New owners heard giggles in the dark. Objects moved mysteriously. Visitors claim if you take Robert's photo without asking for permission, you'll be cursed. The museum now displays hundreds of apology letters, written by terrified guests who believe they disrespected Robert. Some even return to leave offerings, chocolates, money, or toys, hoping to lift the curse. The Hope Diamond. It's one of the most valuable gems on Earth and one of the most dangerous. Weighing 45.52 carats, the Hope Diamond has a history soaked in misfortune. It was allegedly stolen from a Hindu temple, where it once adorned the statue of a goddess. The theft unleashed a curse. Its owners suffered tragic fates, suicides, beheadings, assassinations, and financial ruin. A French noblewoman who wore it was guillotined during the revolution. A Turkish sultan who acquired it was overthrown. Even those who handled it briefly were affected. Today, it's housed in the Smithsonian under heavy security. Despite the legends, thousands still visit it. But few dare to touch the glass. Busbys. Stoop chair. Thomas Busby was sentenced to death in 1702 for murdering his father-in-law. Just before his execution, he cursed the chair he had been sitting in, declaring that anyone who sat in it would die. Over the next few centuries, over 60 deaths were allegedly linked to the chair. Soldiers during World War II who sat in it reportedly never returned. Others died in car crashes, from heart attacks, or bizarre accidents shortly after sitting down. The deaths became so frequent that the pub eventually donated the chair to a museum. It's now suspended high on a wall to ensure no one can ever sit in it again. The Terracotta Army curse. When farmers accidentally discovered China's Terracotta Army in 1974, while digging a well, they unleashed more than just ancient history. The site had been sealed for over 2,000 years. Soon after, the farmers and archaeologists involved began experiencing extreme misfortunes, accidents, illnesses, suicides. Many of the farmers lost their land and died in poverty. Some believe the tomb was cursed to protect the first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, in the afterlife. Even today, workers at the site report cold spots, unexplained voices, and eerie sensations, as if being watched by unseen eyes from the past. The Myrtles Plantation Mirror. The Myrtles Plantation in Louisiana is often called one of America's most haunted homes. One particular mirror is believed to be cursed. According to legend, it traps the souls of Sarah Woodruff and her 2 children, who were poisoned in the 1800s. Visitors claim to see cloudy handprints appear on the glass impossible to clean. Others report ghostly faces staring back that don't belong to them. Paranormal investigators have captured photos of strange figures inside the reflection. Despite countless efforts to cleanse it, the mirror remains, and the spirits trapped inside show no signs of leaving. The Hands Resist Him painting, painted by artist Bill Stoneham in 1972. The Hands Resist Him is one of the most haunted paintings in the world. It depicts a boy and a life-size doll standing before a glass door, with disembodied hands pressing from behind the glass. In 2000, it appeared on eBay with the terrifying description, "The figures moved at night. Sometimes they left the painting entirely." Those who viewed the listing claimed to feel sick, faint, or deeply disturbed. Several people reported strange happenings after downloading the image. Malfunctions, voices, nightmares. Today, the painting is kept in a gallery in Michigan, locked away from the public eye. The Unlucky Mummy British Museum. Housed deep within the British Museum is a mysterious Egyptian artifact, a coffin lid once belonging to an unknown priestess of Amun. Despite not being an actual mummy, it's been linked to misfortunes, deaths, and destruction. In the early 1900s, every archaeologist and photographer who handled it experienced severe illness or died unexpectedly. A famous legend claimed it was aboard the Titanic when it sank, though disputed. The association stuck. The artifact was eventually placed in a sealed case. Staff report hearing whispering voices near it and refused to enter the storage room. Alone, Annabelle the doll, before she terrified audiences in the Conjuring movies. Annabelle was a real-life Raggedy Ann doll kept in the Warren Occult Museum. According to Ed and Lorraine Warren, the doll was possessed by an inhuman spirit. It terrorized roommates who first owned it, moving on its own, writing disturbing notes, and attempting to strangle one of them. One visitor who mocked Annabelle died in a motorcycle accident hours later. The museum now keeps her locked in a glass case with a warning: "Positively do not open." Even hardened skeptics are told to show respect or suffer the consequences. These cursed objects are more than myths. They're real items, kept in museums, homes, and private collections. Some are behind glass, some are buried, some still missing. One thing's for sure, if you ever see one in person, don't touch it. Like and subscribe for more.